Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. Happy New Year to you all. I wish you an amazing 2024. And as usual, this is Amobi, your host. Some of you may have come across my post last week on LinkedIn, and for the people that are not connected with me, maybe you have subscribed to this podcast. You would have noticed a change in our flyer. Yes, so the Trading Without Borders podcast has undergone a bit of a makeover. We have rebranded, and I shared details on that last week. So for this year, I'm going to be sharing our direction and focus for this year. So I'm looking forward to an exciting year, an exciting twist to the podcast, and let's brace ourselves for this awesome journey ahead. For today's episode 92, I'm just going to be sharing directions on the way forward, what our focus area for 2024. And I've had the opportunity to speak to people just to get feedback on the podcast, to get what we've done so far, and just to sort of help us to move forward a bit, to be able to more or less like get everybody be able to get information and details that will be beneficial to us all and not just to some set of people. So one of it, the feedback I had gotten, that's quite a bit of it, is that the podcast should also focus on individuals. The discussion should focus on the benefits of the AFCFTA for individuals, not just business owners or SMEs or entrepreneurs alone. So we should be able to help let every other African see why the AFCFTA is beneficial, what are the benefits of the AFCFTA to me. And so that's one of our focus areas. And number two as well, this podcast is also going to be addressing SDG goals. I will share more on that later in respect of the SDG goals that the podcast is going to be addressing. Sorry about that. So not just an SDG, it's going to be addressing some SDG goals. So I'll share more details on that later. And so that's it for that. So for this year, we are going to be looking at the AFCFTA, the Protocol on Free Movement. So we're looking at the protocol on free movements that a lot of people are not aware of. So it's not AFCFTA, sorry, I'm used to AFCFTA. So everything I say is what's the protocol AFCFTA. So it's just the protocol on free movement of persons, right of residence and right of establishment. We are going to look at that, how easy is it for Africans to move easily across Africa. I'm sure a lot of us know the answer to that, but some African countries have opened up. They are now allowing other Africans to enter into their countries without you can visit without a visa. So how effective has this been? I came across maybe on the WhatsApp status a member of one African country complaining about one of them, that they did not they were not even they could enter without a visa previously, but with the new rule they have also been captured under the stringent requirement, some sort of visa upon arrival. And to them it's like, we were not it was visa free for us before, but now there's now some requirements, and to them it's not really visa free, it's just all over. So we're going to be looking at things like that, like how effective is some of this announcement, some of this information that we get online. What is the practical reality on ground? We'll look at protocol on free movement, and we'll look alongside other discussions. We're going to be having guests. We're going to speak to to different things on the podcast. Why do I say this? Why are we looking at the practical things? Okay, because in my AFCFTA journey so far, I've come across the pessimists and the optimists, and also the observers. The pessimists, they are the ones that do not believe in the FCFTA. They don't believe it's going to be successful. They're like, because the challenges are so overwhelming that even despite all the progress they are claiming, they're being claimed according to them so far, it's all fluke, that it's not going to work. Whereas the optimists are the ones that, yes, we acknowledge that there are challenges. I'm also an optimist that there are challenges, but it doesn't mean the FCFTA will not be successful. we will get there. They are quite an enormous challenge. They have been addressed, but there's been some progress made so far, and we believe that as in all the challenges are being addressed, the AFCFTA, we are getting one step at a time. We'll continue our AFCFTA journey in order to get to the destination in the future. We don't know the generations that, but all the same. So then we have the in-between, the observers, the neutrals. They are neither pessimistic nor optimistic. They are just in between, waiting so that whatever happens, then they fall. If successful eventually to them, they move there, and if it doesn't, well, they just continue to remain neutral to you. But let's just appreciate the AFCFTA Secretariat, their flexing band, and a whole lot of supporting policy makers, various institutions that have been so to make this work. They've done some work, some progress have been made, even with the guided trade initiative. I've had a guest come through, and and some other progress being made in Intra-African Trade Fair and all whatnot. Let's appreciate them. Yes, are there challenges? Yes, let's appreciate them for the work done so far. And are there challenges? Obviously, and one, they are trying to address it. But yes, despite the good work, the initiative, the excellent initiative, there are still some areas of weaknesses, and I think that's for us to help them to point it out. Like we'll come and speak to the practical reality, the situation on ground. This is what you people have said. These are the tools that I've tried to use. It's not working out. This is what I've encountered here when I try to go to this, when I try to go to this, when I try to move my goods. This is when even in my country, when I try to trade under the AFCFTA, or I went to make inquiry, and those are some of the things that we need to help them to point out, that so they can be addressing it. So that's it. Even the guided trade initiative, that is one of the to test the functionality of the AFCFTA. That is it going to work? Is it working? Let's look at the areas of strength, areas of weakness, so we begin to address it. So in as much as there's so much all over that they are doing this, they are meeting this, they are trying it. Let's help them to bring out the areas that need to be addressed. And that is how we begin to speak to the practical situation on ground. Let's encourage them for the work done so far, and let's also point out the areas they need to work on. I believe that's the way we can balance it. That's the way we balance it. So those are some of the things we're going to be discussing this year. Then also, if you're a business owner, a product, you want to showcase your product to other Africans, you feel free to reach out to me. Look, this podcast is the #1 podcast of AFCFTA in Africa. Believe me. Join us on this journey. Don't look at us now and say, just so you have the opportunity to come and speak, showcase your product to other Africans. And these are some of the ways that we can all assist, help out each other. And also for this year, but now you can just reach out to me to find out what it requires, and whatever the requirement that you need for you to do that, please reach out to me. And also, I'll just put a stop here for today. So next week we'll start with the Protocol on Free Movement, and we'll also look at the Visa Openness Index, looking at the countries that have opened opened up to other Africans visa-free, visa without visa. Let's see. Maybe we'll try to get people that have actually used the service, that have been able to travel into those countries, what has been their experience so far. If you want to share with us, you can please reach out to me, come and share that with us, and if there are any complaints so that we can also point that out to the stakeholders. Sometimes some of the people may not get this information, depending on how, I don't know, some of us were aware of Africa and the way things are done. So maybe when they set these things online, think the opportunity. That's what the social media is about. They get to share, they're like, oh, this is it, I came across this, and they then get to address it. So let's work together. I'm looking forward to an exciting year. So we're going to also bring in guests that speak to different institutions, are also coming on board to come and speak about different things, opportunities and benefits for you as an African. So until next week, I say to you, bye-bye and have a good one.